All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Mark of Balance. My name is Mark, and today we're back with some of my favorite episodes, the Star Wars Story interviews. I love bringing on new guests. I love bringing on people I either haven't seen in a while, haven't caught up with in a while in person, and that's the beauty of Star Wars is it brings people together, and I'm really excited about today's guest. He was actually one of the first people that I brought onto my IG Lives on Thursday nights. He came in, gave a great opinion on Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and just a genuinely great guy. We have Mr. Jake Nash in the building today.
It's my quarterback, man. It's my quarterback. I feel like Terrell Owens. That's my quarterback. It's Marky Mark. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm very happy that you invited me.
Absolutely. Yeah, we go way back to football in high school. It's been definitely years since we've seen each other.
Your mouth to God's ears, man. That's it's been way too long.
Absolutely. But here we are, Star Wars bringing people together. Best part about it. Jake, let's get right into it. Where did your love for Star Wars come from? Was there a specific movie? Was there a specific TV show? Was there a moment that caught you? I'd love to hear the beginnings and the root of where that love came from.
So my Star Wars origin story starts. My Star Wars origin story starts. I think like a lot of people, man. When I was a kid, man, I was in kindergarten or first grade. I can't remember. It was 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Yep.
And I remember me and a couple of friends of mine at the time, Chris Lamia.
Giving shout outs.
Yeah, I'm giving shout outs right away. Chris Lamia, Will Ritwiger, and if I forgot anyone, I'm sorry, but we geeked out. We would geek out over Star Wars. When Revenge of the Sith came out, we're like, we gotta go see it. So we were in kindergarten, first grade. Like, you think how young, you don't remember stuff, but Revenge of the Sith became a staple for like our friend group growing up. It's like,
nice.
When in doubt, we're hanging out.
Yeah.
Throw on Revenge of the Sith, man.
Quote that movie while it's on.
You became the very thing you swore to destroy.
Absolutely.
Let's go, man. Obi-Wan's my guy. We all know that.
Yeah. That's awesome. I feel the more people I have on the show, Revenge of the Sith, it just keeps getting brought up as that moment for a lot of people in our generation,
exactly.
Which is awesome.
Because if you look at our age group, like you're born 98.
Yep.
I'm born 98 as well.
Yeah.
Like we were 6, 7 when that movie came out. So I just feel like that's the perfect age where you really start remembering things too. And like that, when you get to the age we're at now, like I'm about to turn 23 or 23, like that's when you really start I'm like, oh, I remember 6, I remember 7, I remember this, I remember that. And like Star Wars is just that staple for a lot of people. Like I had Star Wars and the Yankees. Like that's all I had when I was 6 and 7. So
well, that was when the Yankees were hot too. So
exactly, bro. Like I wish we were hot still, but So Revenge of the Sith, definitely. And then after you see Revenge of the Sith, they're like, yo, there's 6 more of these movies. Like,
yeah,
exactly. Like that's the thing about Star Wars is that it just dates back so long. And my dad was like, yeah, I saw A New Hope when it came out. I saw Empire Strikes Back when it came out. He goes, I was 16, I was 18, I was 21. Like, I think that's like the thing about Star Wars is it's generational.
Yeah,
like our parents watched it, and now we're watching it, and now you see these young kids like dressing up. Like when I was in high school, Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
And Halloween that first year, 2 kids came to my door dressed as Rey and Finn. And I was like, that's so sick, because I was Anakin one year.
Yeah. I was a clone trooper.
That's sick. You were a clone trooper?
Yeah, it was one of those Party City ones.
But
it was cool.
I was Buzz Lightyear one year. My mom made it for me, but like that's different. That's not Star Wars. But I always wanted to be a stormtrooper, and like I'm so jealous of the people who have the life. Like, didn't they do that for Mandalorian? Didn't like. They had people who had the gear come and like be extras.
They contacted the 501st Legion, who has like stormtrooper people, throughout the whole country. These people that make their own stormtrooper outfits, and they didn't have enough stormtrooper costumes, so they're like, "Can you guys come out?"
Just show up, yeah.
And they just showed up, which is so sick.
That's so dope, because I remember reading about that when the show first came out, and like I was like, "That's not true." And I'm like that. It's just like I didn't really look into it because I didn't think it was true.
Yeah, they talked about it at the panel discussion at Star Wars Celebration, and it was one of the coolest moments, because you were just like, it's one of those things that connects the people to the actual show, because a lot of us don't get the opportunity to ever be in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And these people are like huge fans.
It's a very select few group of people.
Yeah.
And now there's so many people from the outside looking in that it's crazy when you finally get to tap into someone who's actually in it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think you brought up a really good point with the generational thing, which, is a big theme in Star Wars, and
Exactly.
the fact that outside of Star Wars, that theme comes to life with people passing it down, Luke passing it down.
Yeah, exactly. And like
Obi-Wan passing it down.
It's so crazy how history kind of repeats itself and how art imitates life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's something that, like, one of my talking points about Star Wars is that art imitates life, and how George Lucas really created this story of, it's really a father-son story. It's not really just like the rise and fall and stuff like that.
It's like a family thing.
It's a family thing. And
I think that's why it resonates, throughout. Like superheroes are great, franchises. Marvel's awesome.
Exactly.
Lord of the Rings, they're all awesome. But something about Star Wars and the fact that it is this thing that you can pass down.
Exactly.
It just connects it so much.
It's like you
more.
haven't seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
You haven't watched Star. You're too good for Star Wars.
right.
Like, sit down and watch. Like, take one day out of your life. I promise you, you haven't watched Star Wars. Take one day out of your life.
Yeah.
Watch 4 through 6 or 1 through 4 or whatever. Like, just get a grasp of what it's going for.
Yeah.
And then if it's still not for you, then hey, like, teach their own, man. But like, just give it a shot. Like, if you haven't watched it, that's what I tell people.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that haven't seen it, they think that because it's so big and it's so popular, they want to be that person that's like, it's probably not that good. I'm too cool.
It's a meme at this point.
Right.
Like, it's huge. Like, it's a meme. Like,
yeah,
and it's just been parodied in so many different levels. Like, I'm looking at the, like, this is such a legendary thing you have.
Oh, we got the AT&T, no, the AT-AT Lego in the building. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember like I was such a huge Star Wars fan, and then I saw Family Guy parody.
Oh
it,
yeah, they killed it,
and they murdered it. Like it was respecting the original, but making it funny, and like just seeing this thing fall over and do the thing.
Oh yeah, the breathing. Yeah. Did you know? Do you know how that came about? This is Family Guy Star Wars thing.
No, I just always watched it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So Seth MacFarlane, obviously a huge fan of Star Wars.
Yeah.
They would work in like cutaways and jokes about Star Wars into early seasons of Family Guy. But, but you know how it's like there's like parody laws where like sometimes they don't want you to take the music from the thing.
Exactly.
And I don't know if George Lucas reached out or someone at Lucasfilm, they reached out to Family Guy and were just like, yeah, you guys just go for it.
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, we'll give you the rights.
Yeah.
I think I did re-up because they had John Williams music.
Oh yeah, they got the whole thing. Yeah.
Yo, John, like, I'm a music lover too. Like John Williams' music in the thing, like the first scene you get his music from, and that Tatooine scene where it's the orchestra and it's the sun, like, that's a vibe, man. I rewatched that like a month ago. I was like, that was a vibe.
It's an amazing moment. Yeah, especially because of the music. I mean, half the magic is the music, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's just it all works its way into each other. But
yeah. So we talked about the beginnings. Love that. As I mentioned in the intro, we talked about Obi-Wan, your love for him. I want to hear where that love came from, why you're so connected to him, and obviously what you want out of the Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, well, I mean, Obi-Wan's just he's a badass, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love him. Like, so, obviously, first movie I saw was Revenge of the Sith, and I really credit the acting and the writing within Star Wars. Yeah, all the effects and everything is cool, but like, there's a lot of good acting and writing in it too. And you look at the originals with George Lucas and him directing them, and you look at how Alec Guinness portrayed the character.
Wow.
And you look at the old wise man, and then you look at him in the prequels. This kind of you start off in the Phantom Menace with Ewan McGregor, kind of being a naive man. He's a Jedi who's learning from his master, and he kind of doesn't understand the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that he says on Tatooine when Qui-Gon sends him the thing. He's like, another useless life form. Like, I think that's really cool how he didn't really suspect Anakin to become this, and I think that teaches everyone humility too behind him as well, because like, don't make assumptions and everything like that too. And there's a lot of humility within Obi-Wan.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much humility, and he's very humble, and he keeps everything level headed. Yeah. And that's just like my philosophy on life, is kind of trying to keep things level headed and kind of seeing things as they are. And so and that really resonated with me as a kid and growing up in that's the good thing about Star Wars is you can just keep coming back to it. You can watch it a million times and catch new things as well.
Yeah.
So every time I needed like a refresh in my life, I would just go back and watch Star Wars, and this guy Obi-Wan just keeps resonating with me. And then now that he has his own show, it feels right.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Especially when you talk about, how human he is. Like, everyone wants to paint Obi-Wan as this, like, perfect person, but I think what makes him great is he's far from it.
Exactly.
And that first episode with Phantom Menace, when he's like, yeah, what are we doing wasting our time with these worthless life forms? Like, a human, like, not even, like, another species,
exactly.
Like, a human.
And, like, that's just the thing. Like, he says another useless life form. He compared Anakin to Jar Jar. I was like, I was like, come on.
I know,
like,
pretty brutal.
And it's like, that's such a great way of looking at it too, because like you didn't expect, like, you thought you compared him to Jar Jar. Jar Jar's not Darth Vader.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yo,
exactly.
He's not Darth Vader. Come on.
And what are you expecting from the show? I mean, are you expecting a lot of flashbacks? What do you want to see?
So, of course, Obi-Wan's my favorite character.
Yep.
And it's just like the thing, I treat this like how I treat every Yankee season. No expectations.
I wish I could do that.
No expectations. I really should be saying the Giants because the Yankees have the highest payroll in baseball, but no expectations.
Yeah.
No expectations. Disney, it's in your hands.
Wow.
Disney, it's in your hands. It's up to you guys. Like, if this show's good,
yeah,
I'm buying merch. I'm doing everything that I said I would do. Mm-hmm. And if it tanks, it tanks. But odds are I'm gonna like it.
Right. I envy you. I wish I could go in with
exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly, and it's killing me not to have these expectations. It's killing me not to read into things. It's killing me not to look at these articles and go on Reddit.
You want to get pulled to the dark side.
I want to get pulled in.
Yeah.
I want to get pulled in. I'm trying. I was such a hardo for years that I'm trying so hard just to relax. And because I love him so much, and I love Ewan McGregor as an actor, and I love everyone that is in Star Wars, and like, sorry,
you're good.
I'm
You're good.
joking.
You're good.
I love Star Wars, and I love Ewan McGregor, and I love Obi-Wan. That I can't put that much weight and stress on myself to do it. It's just not good for my mental health if I go into this thing with any expectations. So I'm gonna watch it with an open, clear mind, and if I like it, I like it. But I probably will because it's Obi-Wan.
Once he's on the screen, absolutely. Yeah, I think you bring up a really cool like methodology, because I feel nowadays with a lot of franchises, especially Star Wars, there's so much news and there's so many expectations that it can almost ruin the experience, even if something is good, because you've seen so much news leading up to it. You've seen all these trailers, and you almost like you build these monumental things that'll never be reached, especially with this. I mean, with Revenge of the Sith being the cornerstone of what this is going to be based on. Like, everyone loves Revenge of the Sith, so if it's anywhere not at that level, people are going to be like, it's not great, shouldn't have done it. So it is a cool way to do it by not having these expectations, not be in the know about every single little thing. The thing that I always harped on with Mandalorian Season 2 was that there was a lot of actors you knew were going to be in it. Like, before the season even aired, you knew Boba Fett was going to be it. You knew Ahsoka was going to be in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like, where's the fun? Where's the expectation? Where's the surprise?
It's like they were seen on set and stuff like that.
Exactly,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Luke thing threw me for a loop.
The Luke thing was new.
That threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
But you knew Ahsoka Tano was going to be in it. You knew Boba Fett and everything too. But like, still, you know Hayden Christensen's gonna be in it, and you know Liam Neeson's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
So just what they do with that,
they got it.
They got it. I'm sure it's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. Like I'm like you can't. I'm like, hey, it's gonna be good. Just relax and let's just go in, no expectations. Like, hey, it's gonna be good. Let's relax.
Yeah, that's a key point and a key lesson for all Star Wars fans, I think.
Yeah, don't let your expectations get the better of you.
Yep. So you did mention Ahsoka Tano. Were you into Clone Wars when it first aired, or did you kind of pick it up later with your with your fandom of Star Wars?
It was one of those things where I missed like the first couple seasons, and then like I think it was like when they were making the last one was when I started picking up on it. I'm like, oh, there's a Clone Wars show. I was like, what
is all this?
I was like, what such do you speak of? But, I was like, I didn't really get onto it until it was late, and then now it's like I have Disney Plus, so now it's just kind of at my free will to go back and watch it whenever I have. And like I'm not really sure when that was. I like whenever the last season was when I got onto it, and then like I stopped watching it. But now that I have Disney Plus, I go back and watch it every now and then. But
yeah, and you got so much more Obi-Wan.
Exactly. Come on.
Yeah, and I think James Arnold Taylor did a great job with him.
Oh,
I think he captured Obi-Wan perfectly.
Exactly. I'm not like I'm so satisfied with what they did that it's such a great show, and like it just showed you what they could do. I think that was like watching this, I'm like, oh, they can make so much more Star Wars content.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy what they can do. Like they have 9 movies that they at their core, and then they have so many branches from those roots, from those 9 movies that it's endless what you can do.
Yeah,
you can make galaxies within galaxies at this point. Like
they're trying.
They're
trying.
Exactly, and that's what I love, and that's why we love Star Wars, man.
Yeah, it's such a big galaxy.
It's endless,
and it kind of shifts me into another topic we were going to discuss, which was Visions, which really showed how much they could do. with Star Wars.
I loved Visions, man.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest anime head in my life, and compared to friends I have friends who have seen, Joe Schmo anime. And like, exactly. Like you haven't seen that? I'm like, bro.
No, not many people have.
Like, no, you're one of 17 people. But I wasn't a huge anime head going into it. But just from the first episode captured me. I think that's what makes a good show. Obviously, too, is the first episode. The pilot has to catch you, and just the way that every episode was different. But stuck to the roots of what it was doing, sick. And the fact that Katanas were lightsabers, even better, because he just combined 2 awesome things as well.
Right. Yeah. That was my biggest takeaway from Visions was we need to get away from the stories we know, try new things, expand.
Exactly. It's like you know what this is good. You know what they're gonna do with this. You know what they're gonna do with that. And the fact that they gave it to anime creators, the people that make anime for a living. Disney didn't try and do it themselves. They had you looked at the credits, and it's like, that guy did this, that guy did that, this lady did that, and I really think they didn't Disneyify it too.
No,
they didn't make it too watered down. They really let the minds behind it really expand and really test the limits of what they could do.
Absolutely,
which was awesome. And every episode was just show what they were doing.
Yeah, they definitely let the creators stick to what they wanted to do. I don't think there was much pushback or anything. They just said, run free, do what you want, and I think they benefited from that, absolutely.
Exactly.
And when talking about Disney Plus, and you mentioned Clone Wars being able to watch it, I've run into a lot of people with these interviews that they didn't get to watch Clone Wars the first time on TV. And Disney Plus gave them such a great...
I couldn't even tell you what channel it was on.
Yeah.
It was
32. It was Cartoon Network.
I was going to say, it was probably Cartoon Network, if anything. But even then, like, I don't remember seeing it because if you remember how old Optimum used to be, it was 31, 32, and 33.
Absolutely.
It was Disney, Cartoon, and Nickelodeon. And it's just on the guide. And it's like, I don't remember ever seeing Clone Wars in there.
Yeah, it was like later at night.
It would be like... would it be during an Adult Swim hours?
No, it usually premiered, I think, like 9 o'clock on Friday nights.
Yeah, so like, I would be either asleep or
doing something else.
And I'm like, damn, I really missed it. Like, I'm like, I'm such a Star Wars fan. I really missed that. Like, they didn't advertise it that well, because that's something I would have definitely hopped on early. And it took me to the last season to watch it. Like,
isn't it crazy? We're not old, but we're kind of old. We had to watch Clone Wars on TV, record it with a DVR, and figure out how to find those episodes.
I'm still so upset that like my old DVRs are washed now. Like, we've changed networks and we've changed this. I'm like, I missed like my 7th grade DVR. It was fire. It was like SNL and other stuff like that.
Had a whole catalog of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And there'd be like movie of the week, and like they would show a Star Wars movie. They'd have a marathon and a Harry Potter marathon the next day, and stuff like that. But
yeah, I love how Disney Plus has just let people rediscover that stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, from the comfort of your own home, kick your feet up, watching your own pace, no commercials.
Yeah.
Sign me. I'll pay.
I'll
pay
no commercials.
$6 a month for endless Star Wars and Marvel. Come on.
No problem. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so to shift away from TV, movies, all that stuff, which is all great. we want to talk about video games now. And we recently had the Knights of the Old Republic remake announced, and I put it up on my story. Jake immediately responded to it, like, let's go. And I was like, hell yeah.
I was so Knights of the Old Republic is going to be so sick. And I don't know, I'm like, I might go out and I'm so outdated with my systems. Like, I have a PS4 still. Like,
that's not
it's
really tough to get a PS5.
Exactly. Like, yo, when the PS5s dropped, those were like Yeezys. They go in 2 seconds. They go in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten a PS5 yet, and like I think I might go out and buy a PS5 for this.
Yeah.
And I might go out and get a new system for this because I'm so excited. And if I know, like, I'm pretty sure they remastered Lego Star Wars as well too. So like,
yeah, I don't know if it was for like PS5.
Yeah,
I just think they might have just made it better.
Yeah, because I remember that was like the first Star Wars video game I played was Lego Star Wars.
The first one with just like the 3 movies.
Yeah, just
okay,
with 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
With 1, 2, they did it for one. They did it for Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. Leave me alone. And then it was for the PlayStation 2, and I had 3 memory cards because I would just.
Oh yeah, grind.
I kept grinding it, and like
That's the one that had the blue disc, right?
The blue disc.
Yeah, the back of it was blue.
That was such a great game.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite games ever. And when I talk to people about it, they're like, "Man, no, I didn't like that." But like, everyone talks about Battlefront 2 from the PlayStation 2 days. Yeah. Talk about Battlefront, like Battlefront's dope. But yeah, obviously
of course,
you could get the Jedis and the Siths and stuff like that. That's cool too. But
yeah.
Something about Lego Star Wars, man. I would just do side quests. I wouldn't even do the thing. And like that's what was so good about it is that fact there were so many side quests within the core.
Yeah, it forced you to do multiple playthroughs because you couldn't get all of the mini kits the first time through. You had to go back and play it again.
To this day, I still don't have them all.
It's hard.
It was so hard.
It was hard.
It was so hard, and like there was no difficulty setting. You just play the game, and like. And there were some fun levels too, like the pod racing from Phantom Menace. Like I would go back and play that.
Oh yeah.
And like you could I would pod race as Qui-Gon and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
You could that's the beauty about the video games aspect too is like you can kind of delve into the world.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Skywalker Saga Lego game. That's coming. It's been coming for a while, but
come on, like,
that's gonna be awesome if they pull it off.
They can take their time with that too.
Please get it right.
Exactly, and that's my thing with Star Wars too. Is just if you're gonna do it, take your time, get it right, no rush. Hey, like I know people want it yesterday. I want it yesterday too.
Of course,
but we all know this thing in life where you can't rush. You can't rush perfection.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that was a detriment of the Disney Star Wars movies was they had to release them every 2 years, and they never just said, "Hey, let's break the schedule, let's take our time."
Exactly.
And they rushed Rise of Skywalker. They admitted it. They said we rushed it.
They could have. First off, I think Abrams came out and said he had like 8 hours of footage that he could have used, and to cut that into to cut that into 2.5, you're getting rid of 80% of what you just had.
Yeah.
And it's just. And I think that's just the era we live in now is that we want things so quickly and instant gratification.
Absolutely.
They bought Disney in 2011 and
something like that.
And they had the movie announced in a year and a half. Like you didn't give this time. Like I feel like they could have given it a little bit more time just to not please us, but like if they really wanted it to be good and they weren't just cash grabbing it. I think that's where they are now. I think they're realizing that we have all the money we need from this now. Let's kind of just relax and put out what they want.
Exactly.
So I think they really rushed into those movies because they saw the
dollar sign.
The dollar sign, exactly. And that's sad, but
they learned the lesson. Hopefully,
exactly. I really genuinely believe that they have the right minds there now.
Okay.
And I really genuinely believe that they have the people leading them in the right vision.
Yeah,
I want
vision.
Yeah, vision. No pun intended. But I really think that they do have the right minds over there now, and I really think that the future is looking good.
Yeah,
it's looking good, and I really think that we're gonna get some really good content from them for years to come.
Yeah, I think so too. With the TV and the TV approach, I think is very smart on their end.
Exactly.
Instead of just releasing movies, like, hey, let's try a new medium. Let's try it out.
Exactly. No one wants to sit for a 4-hour movie anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. Obviously, I went and saw the last Avengers movie, and I went and saw all the Star Wars movies when they come out. But like, sitting in a theater for more than an hour and a half, hour 45 is like with the ADD society we live in now. It's hard. I can do it all day.
Yeah.
I can sit there and just. Oh, hey, that's Ray, and that's Poe. I could sit there for 3 hours and watch a movie. But I just feel like the era we live in now, people want it now. People want it.
Binge. They want
to binge. They want it. Like, all right, cool. We have a whole season to watch. Like, all right,
yeah.
Every episode's 35 minutes.
Boom.
Cool. That's my day.
Yeah, TV shows are also just in now. I mean, TV is everything now.
Exactly, and just with the streaming thing, you can just throw up on Disney Plus. Yeah, cool.
Easy. So yeah, let's talk about those new TV shows. We just got the Boba Fett poster. You're already rocking the Boba Fett T-shirt in the building.
I got this shirt.
That's a nice one. I like the vintage.
Yeah, no, it's vintage. So my pops got this for me. What was I in? I was in high school, so this is like a 2X. So I was definitely like a sophomore or junior when he got this for me.
Yeah.
I have this one. I have just a plain one. It's like it's all black, and it has a bunch of stars on it, and it says Star Wars. And then I have one that says I Need Some Space, and it's Darth Vader with a stormtrooper.
Yeah, fire.
And I have more Star Wars stuff, but this is just my favorite. This is a go-to for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
This Boba Fett shirt, and Boba Fett's awesome too. He's my second favorite character.
Yeah. What do you like about him? Is it just the appearance? Is it just the mystery, or
it's a little bit of both? If you talk to people who like Boba Fett, it's the mystery within the appearance, because like he looks sick.
Oh, it's a classic design. I mean,
it's like like who thought of this? Like,
and it's such weird colors, like beige, dark green, and red. Like,
exactly, it's colors
really odd.
It's colors you didn't think would go together, and it's like I really think that's why he appeals to so many people, because he looks different. You can pick him out of a crowd. It's like, and like that's the thing from the Star Wars parodies. It's like oh, we're going through these. Oh yeah, Boba Fett, and then it's like,
right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like Boba Fett, obviously, and then all these other people. But
so I know you talked about expectations, and this might be a bad question for you, but the fact that the mystery and the appearance of Boba Fett is your favorite part of him, is there a little bit of worry in you about the series that you're going to get too much of that mystery exposed? Like, you'll hear more about him that might take away from the mystique, or do you think that's welcome at this point? It has been 40 years.
That's a great question, because it's like it's really hard to look at it, because you're like, I like him because he's so mysterious, and you really don't know, and then it's like, I want to know, but like I don't want to know.
Yeah, I know.
it's like bro, like, and that's why I think they're doing it, is because they have that free range to kind of make it as whatever they want. Yeah, and they're kind of like seeing what people want, and like, oh, he did this and this and this. I really think that like the new stories is just another thing that they can just. They're just seeing a lane that we can run down it. Like, all right, Boba Fett's a mystery. All right, cool. Boba Fett show. Like, what happened between 3 and 4 with Obi-Wan and Luke? All right, well, we can do that. We can do that. Right, so I really think that it's a smart move for them, and I'm really excited because it's Boba Fett.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited about it. I have no expectations for it, like you.
Exactly.
A lot of people are really excited for it, and I'm sure it'll be that one episode of season 2 where it's just balls to the walls action. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to lean on that, which is going to be fun to watch. Yeah. But I'm not sure what they're going to do with his character. And I guess that's what's...
We love good character development within the action, too.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly. and that's what makes Mandalorian so great, obviously, and the whole franchise itself great, is the character development and the humility between these characters. Yep. So I'm excited to see what they do. And... it's like the Obi-Wan thing, I know how dope they can make it, but hey, it's in your hands. It's up to you guys. It's up to you to get the angles and everything like that. Yeah, so.
Temper the expectations. It's important.
Yeah, calm down, relax.
Yeah, a little Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little RELAX. Relax.
Is there any other shows that you're really excited about other than Boba Fett and Obi-Wan? Is there anything else that like stands out to you? Or...
So those two, obviously, and I was really impressed with Visions. I wasn't, because I knew anime, I watched anime, but I wasn't a huge anime person, and like this inspired me to like go back and watch.
That's fire.
Different animes too. Whatever they're doing with Ahsoka Tano. I can't.
Osaka, yeah, she's a tennis player.
Osaka, yeah, Naomi. I was Osaka, Naomi Osaka, but Ahsoka Tano. Whatever they're doing with her is going to be cool. And, I love Rosario Dawson as well. Yeah. And I think what they did with her in Mandalorian was cool, too. Other than that, like, they're giving me what I want. And
you got your fill.
I'm getting my fill. Whatever the hardos want and whatever it's good for them. But, for me, they're giving me what I want.
That's awesome. All right. Well, first of all, if you need anime recommendations, let me know. I can shoot those over to you if you want to dive into it.
Yeah, no, I've got. Oh my friend, you haven't seen it. You haven't seen this. I'm like,
all right. Well, you gotta watch out for the weebs that are like, you gotta watch this. Okay, let's ease me in.
Relax, Taryn.
Here's a 1,000 episode series you gotta watch.
Yeah, man. There's 57 seasons, 400 episodes per season. But the plot development in season 46 is great. I'm like, yo.
That's so accurate. That is so accurate. All right. Well, I think we've touched on a lot of things, and now we get down to the nitty gritty. I know everyone.
I don't want to do this.
Everyone's least favorite part, but I think it's secretly my favorite part. Hearing.
You're an evil person.
I know. I make people choose their children right in front of me. So I need the movie rankings from you, Mr. Jake Nash. Are you gonna do just the Skywalker saga, or are you going to rope in Solo and Rogue One?
That was my next question. Do you include Solo and Rogue One in your star? Because they are.
I do. I
do too.
Okay, then I want to hear.
I do too. I do too because I place them higher than most people would, or place them lower than some people would.
Yeah.
So we've got 11 movies to look at.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Thing is, it's so hard because do you want to start at the bottom and work your way up, or do you just want to start with your favorites?
Honestly, we've been going from bottom to top, so there's like a suspense to what will be the top movie. But if you feel you want to start at the top, go down, we can change it up.
No, because like you're supposed to start at the bottom. Like that's how lists are.
Oh, yeah.
But like it's just like you know what your favorites are.
That's true.
Exactly. So why would you even bother like putting them in a different order and like so. And then it's also about what I enjoy. It's not really. It's just my opinion. It's
absolutely, yeah.
And
no one's gonna attack you.
Exactly, and that's why this is so controversial because people are like have their opinions set in stone. Like, how could you put Phantom Menace above Attack of the Clones, man? It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I just it's from just a personal enjoyment.
He's got like a whole apology set up. He's like
exactly from a personal enjoyment standpoint. Mm-hmm. It's just like it's hard for me to put some movies above others, but
absolutely.
I guess if we're just starting at the bottom, it's so hard because you said it perfectly, like making people pick their children in front of you.
Yeah,
it's just so hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty twisted,
and I'm like, you're so twisted that man, I'd probably put Solo last.
Okay.
But it's so good. The thing is, they're all so good for enjoyment, just to throw.
They're fun. They're fun.
They're all like some of the movies are bad just in aspect of like what they were doing.
Yeah.
But they're just so fun to watch.
Absolutely.
And obviously that's what makes Star Wars so great. So I probably put Solo last.
Solo 11. All right. I think that's where I put it too.
Yeah, Solo last. Not taking away anything away from
you. Don't have to apologize. You gotta just rip these. I promise.
I love Childish Gambino. I think he makes good music. But
I promise you could rip through these.
I love Donald Glover. But put Solo last, and then
Nash has got an apology for every single one.
I'm so I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. We'll go Solo last, and then I'll go. Damn. God damn, I should have studied. This is like when you wake up the morning of a test and you know you have a test that day, but you didn't know studying.
Yeah.
And you're like, I have a test 4th period, so and so's history class.
Closer it gets, you're like, oh shit.
And it's like it's the period, and like it's the period. Like it's you're walking, you have that 5 minutes in between class to walk, and it's like shit.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I did no studying. I've seen the movies a million times, but like it's just so hard to rank them.
This is crazy. This is the hardest list I've seen.
Exactly. When you love Star Wars so much, it's just like, all right, so Solo. Then I'd probably do Last Jedi.
Okay.
Solo, Last Jedi, and then I do Phantom Menace.
Okay.
I have 3, right?
Yeah, 11, 10, 9, yeah.
Phantom Menace. And then I'd probably do Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
Then, the thing is, Attack of the Clones would be like top 5 normally, but it's just the fact I've just been watching different ones.
Yeah.
So I'll explain it later. So I did Solo, Last Jedi, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones. Then we'll go Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, Return of the Jedi.
Okay, 4. Are we at 4 now?
Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 left.
Okay.
That's 4, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And then I go A New Hope.
Okay. Wow.
Top 3. And then, what am am I forgetting? I'm forgetting
Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, and
I know
Empire.
Rogue One is before Return of the Jedi. It'll go Rogue One, Return of the Jedi,
Okay.
A New Hope,
Okay.
Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Wow, that was a new list. I will say that is a newer list.
Yeah. So
Rise of Skywalker is your favorite sequel trilogy film.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just I think it's just the fact that when I saw it, I was just in such awe because I did. So it sucks because I had most of the movie spoiled for me.
Really?
And I was still blown away.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw it the Thursday night it came out
Mm-hmm.
in IMAX.
Yep.
I went down to AC and I saw it with my friend who's in the Air Force now. We see almost every Star Wars movie together. We saw Solo, we saw Last Jedi, and we saw Force Awakens.
That's awesome.
But we saw the last like 3 together, and then I saw it with him, and I was like, I before we even went in, I'm like, I have some of this movie spoiled for me, and I'm not gonna say what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, all right, when Kylo tells Rey that she's Palpatine's granddaughter, I'm like, all right, like I had that spoiled for me, and I had.
And you saw this on opening night, and you still had it spoiled?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I don't remember how I had it spoiled for me. I think
Probably Twitter.
no, because I didn't go. I specifically muted things on. You can mute words on Twitter.
Yeah.
If you want, like that's a social politic thing I have with Twitter. But if you don't want words to pop up in your feed, you can mute them.
Yeah,
you know that.
I have mine. I have some words muted for me.
I have a lot of politic things muted, but I have a lot of Star Wars things muted as well.
Just in case.
Just in case, because I don't like things spoiled for me.
Yeah.
I like to be wowed in the moment, like how they anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was on Twitter, and it just got through the algorithm. Got through the algorithm. It just popped up, and I'm like, mother. I punched the wall. I'm like, that's not true. They tweeted that because
they wanted to start.
They wanted to have something brewing. Lo and behold, it was true. I was so upset. I'm like, all right, that was spoiled for me. And then 3PO getting his memory wiped. I don't know how people knew that.
I don't know. Maybe from the trailer. The trailer kind of gave like something was gonna happen to him.
Because with his the eye, they did the eyes in the trailer, right?
The red eyes.
The red eyes when he started reading the Sith off the dagger.
Yep.
That was spoiled for me, and I think the whole thing of Kylo Ren becoming Ben Solo.
Right. Yeah, it's redemption.
Redemption. They're like, I kind of just assumed that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you knew something good had to happen.
I think a lot of people assumed that.
Yeah.
I was on Instagram or something like that day, and I saw that. Like,
yeah.
I saw him holding a blue lightsaber. I was like,
oh damn!
I was like, that's photoshopped.
It was not.
I was like, that's a great Photoshop. And I was like, but that scene in Rise of Skywalker is so sick when she's like with Palpatine and she's going to strike him down and they had that Force connection. I'm like,
yeah.
I hit my friend. I'm like, that was so dope, bro.
Right. Oh, where they switched the lightsaber.
When they switched the lightsaber, that was sick. But you know, it's controversial because all the plot holes within Rise of Skywalker and everything too.
The dagger got
me. The dagger
got me.
That dagger scene. Oh my god! I almost drop kicked the guy in front of me.
That was pretty bad.
I'm like, how is that? No, we've talked about this. If you haven't listened, go back and listen to Mark's Rise of Skywalker. That's a great episode.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
I gotta gas up the show that I'm on. But just the action alone and everything else is what makes it the best for me. And out of the 3. And then Revenge of the Sith is a classic. You can't get rid of that.
Yeah, I know when I released my list, you vehemently stated that if it was not number 1, you weren't listening.
Exactly.
And I know, probably to your dismay, it was not number 1.
Yeah, no, it's whatever. It's whatever.
It was number 2.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, to each their own, and that's the beauty about Star Wars is that I don't hold grudges over people's movies rankings.
Yeah.
Although some people have beef with me over my movie rankings, I'm like, no, dude, it's
chill. It's chill.
Just relax. Like, what's your favorite Tarantino movie, bro? Come on.
Let's get real.
Let's get real. Like, you can't pick a favorite. It's just but if you were forced to, each one's got their favorite.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's why I like asking this because I've gotten so many different responses. I mean, Revenge of the Sith and Empire and Return of the Jedi are the 3 that always find their way into the top 3. But there have been some times where people put like a prequel, or someone's put Attack of the Clones up in the top 3. And
see, if you talked to me about 6 months ago, Attack of the Clones probably would have been 4.
Oh wow!
Because I was watching it a lot, just because I don't know, I was infatuated with Count Dooku for some reason, and your swords please is in Revenge of the Sith, but he was like You've interrupted our affairs for the last time, and just that whole thing on Geonosis with him and Obi-Wan and Anakin, just the chase scene. I was like, I don't know if it was just something that I ate that morning, but that scene just hit that whole thing, that whole last like 30 minutes really
just hit different.
Exactly. I was like, that's sick.
Yeah, Geonosis is an awesome set piece. I love Geonosis.
The last like hour of Attack of the Clones is really some of the best content in Star Wars.
Yeah, I really like it.
The first half is kind of
First half's definitely a slog.
But as soon as Obi-Wan gets kidnapped by
once they get there,
as soon as Anakin and Padme after their Naboo
getaway.
So I hate sand. But as soon as Obi-Wan gets captured, that's when the movie really kicks it up for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Empire is just, I feel like that's just, it's so high up for me because I've seen it so many times, and like it's just so good.
Yeah, I think it gets better with age.
Exactly. It's just like it's wine, bro. It's butter. Like it's so good.
It is.
No matter
it's the best. I think it's the most well written of any of the movies.
Exactly.
I think the dialogue and the philosophy of it are the most well written, and that's probably why people put it as their number one, and why people outside of Star Wars say it's one of the best films of all time. I think it's really because of the writing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a movie. It's not just it's a movie. There's story arc, and like it's so crazy. That's like hands down the best sequel to a movie ever. If you look at it, like I know like there's a Terminator 2 and The Dark Knight and everything. Godfather 2. Like that is the best sequel to a movie ever. If you just look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously agree, but
yeah, exactly.
I know some people.
I know there's gonna be a lot of movie buffs that attack me. Yeah. But just I will die on that. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. Is that
everyone's got their one?
Exactly. This is one of the many hills. This is one of the many hills of Star Wars hills I'm ready to die on. Yeah. It's the fact that Empire is just that movie when it comes to Star Wars. I think that's something that if you show anyone who hasn't seen Star Wars that movie,
definitely
they're gonna know 6 references from the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Like the I am your father thing, the Dagobah thing, Hoth. Like every scene is iconic.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think like Yoda was in about 30 minutes of that movie, and he had a little bit of screen time in Return of the Jedi, and he was like
he was talked about for years.
Pop culture
icon, bro.
Yeah, outside. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 80s and 90s,
exactly,
but I know that Yoda was bigger than he was before the prequels. The prequels fleshed him out a little.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was definitely an icon just from those couple scenes.
Yeah, exactly, and just like the wisdom behind him as well, and like you get the wisdom, and you get Force Ghost Obi-Wan the entire movie.
Yeah,
and you get Luke's character arc, and you get Vader. You get
Hoth. You got Hoth.
You get Hoth, you get Vader's character, you get Boba Fett introduction.
You get Boba Fett introduction.
You get even like Han and Leia and all them too, like their adventure and everything like that too. I just think that's why it is so high up there. But Revenge of the Sith just takes everything. Yeah, for me, it's just like it's the first movie I watched. Obviously, so there's nostalgia in there too. But it's like Empire. It's just every scene is iconic.
Yeah,
and just the themes within it and the metaphors that George Lucas used and everything too. And I know this scene gets talked about a lot, but it's very iconic for me. It's just the fact that Obi-Wan and Anakin's last conversation, Anakin's in the dark and Obi-Wan's in the light, and like that's the camera angle the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's just so iconic for me.
Yeah, I think it was a great move by George. I think it was his best directed film.
Obviously. Yeah, exactly.
Between any of the prequels, I think he actually did a good job directing that.
Yeah, I think that's and like this is just my opinion. I feel like the first 2 movies were almost useless in the fact they were just more for the fact of pumping out a trilogy. I think all you really needed was Revenge of the Sith from there.
Really?
I think all you really need, because I think obviously you want the whole story of Anakin and where he came from and what events led to everything. But if you look at how Revenge of the Sith is set up, it's just the fact that all these it's just everything's turning one moment. Yeah. Everything snapped at one moment. So the whole thing was just leading up to Anakin turning to
Yeah, I would agree.
You knew exactly what was going to happen the entire time. And the fact that it amazed you even more is why I feel like Revenge of the Sith is like the biggest standalone from the prequels.
Yeah, I think I could agree to you only to the point about the fact that the first 2 movies have a lot of time jumps. Yeah. So they do feel disjointed from Revenge of the Sith, and anyone could probably sit down and just watch Revenge of the Sith and get kind of the idea of what it was. So I agree to that point. I do really like Phantom Menace a lot.
I know. I like those movies.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the fact that if you look at 3 and then 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 all kind of piggyback off each other, and there's just so much kind of empty space within 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
It's just kind of 3 and then 4, 5, and 6.
I got definitely.
That's just my opinion on it. But like obviously, I love those movies for what they are, and I love Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Like Duel of Fates alone, man. Like
yeah, right.
Duel of Fates alone, man. Like we have that, and then there's just so much stuff to unpack with. I just feel like 1 and 2 are kind of their own standalone movies, and then 3 kind of connects to the story, and then 1 and 2 is kind of like Clone Wars,
just backstory.
Clone Wars-y, kind of like that. That's how I kind of viewed it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it's still amazing.
Still good. Yeah, still good.
Still
good. Revenge of the Sith is that one. I think the last hour and a half of that movie are some of the best.
Same. Like it's
not
crazy.
just Star Wars. I really think it is.
I just think
there.
that was when I was going back. I watched them 1 to 9 in order. I didn't go 4, 5, 6. I went 1 to 9 in order.
Yeah.
Just to see the story because I hadn't done it in like a couple months. But I went back and 3. I was like, because I just watched 1 and 2. I started at like 1 and it was like 8 o'clock when I got to 3. And like by the time Anakin told Mace Windu that Palpatine was the Sith, he's like, I think Emperor Palpatine is the Sith Lord, and I was like. I was emotionally hooked. I was like, it was like I was watching it for the first time.
That was the turn. That was the turn.
That was the turn in the movie because the first half of the movie, it's really good and like there's a lot of action and obviously they have the opening battle with Dooku and then the meeting with Grievous and then them landing and everything. But I think that's the turn and that's about the same time when Obi-Wan gets to Grievous at that point.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the planet he was on.
Utapau.
Like, that's such a. But the one with the levels and
the whole.
I think it was really cool how they did that too. That kind of felt Clone Warsy as well. But like we love Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And like that was really cool how they had the levels and they were all fighting and Obi-Wan stalled. And
I actually didn't realize that. It kind of does resemble like Coruscant. Like you go down and there's different levels. Yeah.
Exactly. Like there's levels and it kind of
all the bad stuff's happening on Coruscant. Oh, look at that symbolism. Okay. I've never actually thought about that.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I took you off track.
Yeah, a little bit, but like I was like, oh, that's such a great point. But
Utapau,
yeah. I think that scene on Utapau is the turn for me when Obi-Wan starts fighting Grievous, and then that's when everything. Because I think that's why it just played into Palpatine's hands at that point. Because he's gonna recommend Anakin, but they don't want Palpatine's. If he recommended Obi-Wan, they would have sent Anakin.
Right, they wanted them separate.
He wanted them separate, so he's gonna recommend that Anakin goes. And they send Obi-Wan.
Right.
Obi-Wan was a clear-cut choice. Anakin, I mean...
Yeah, Anakin could have done a great job, too.
Not saying you wouldn't have done a great job. Not saying, but you were meant to become Darth Vader. You were meant to end the Clone Wars, the Clone Wars, whatever. But, that movie I feel like that movie is timeless. And same thing with Empire Strikes Back. I think those movies will live... It's forever at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
It's forever. Sure. Whenever the end of civilization is...
They'll be talking Star Wars.
They're like, yeah, you remember on Utapau? Hello there.
Yeah, they'll be talking Star Wars.
Yeah, man.
That's a good place to end right there. Star Wars lasting forever. The future generations talking about that turning point in Revenge of the Sith. Jake, thank you so much for coming by.
Bro,
I hope you had a great time.
I had a blast, man. I'm just so happy to see that you're doing this.
Yeah,
and like this is awesome week to week listening and just watching you put content out and it's just something for me to nerd out about again.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And like this is a great platform to open up stories and everything because Star Wars touches the heartstrings of a lot of people, and we wouldn't be here without it. But I really think this is one of the greatest things ever.
Wow, I really appreciate that, Jake. Thank you.
This is awesome.
That's always what I've strive to do is bring people together, talk about Star Wars, and I'm just glad I can give people like you a platform to talk about it as well, and definitely more Star Wars interviews to come.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited to keep pumping these out, but thank you again, Jake, and thank you all for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with everyone.
Boom. Nice.
That was awesome, man.